Thanks for tuning in to this latest video weather briefing from the National Weather Service office in San Diego. My name is Alex Tardy, meteorologist here, and I'll be talking to you about this upcoming Santa Ana wind event and the fact that the heat will be on. The graphics in this presentation are courtesy of Stephen Harrison, another meteorologist here at the National Weather Service. This event is expected to begin on Wednesday, October 19th and last all the way through Friday. All right, when we talk about the weather pattern, we're usually talking about the jet stream or the upper level flow of air. This animation here shows what we call a strengthening upper level ridge of high pressure. Basically, a dome of very warm air in the atmosphere is building or shifting across Southern California as we go through this week. This will be the mechanism that provides us the very warm temperatures for all areas. Now, when we're talking Santa Ana wind, we are typically talking about surface high pressure. In this case, classic setup with surface high pressure. So actually cold air moving over the Great Basin area. This is a surface high pressure in the wake or following the storm systems that have moved through the west over the past weekend. This surface high pressure area builds over the Great Basin and creates a difference or a pressure gradient from high to low pressure. The pressure gradient builds over our region, and since the air is forced to go through the mountains and the mountain passes, it often accelerates through these passes and up and over the mountains. And really importantly is that it basically shuts off our normal onshore flow or our marine layer. Thus, all the air over our region is directly from that upper level high pressure system I showed you. And actually in these scenarios, the coastal areas get a little bit warmer because we get a little bit of added compressional warming as that air descends down the mountain slopes. So in other words, on the coast, it can be as warm, if not slightly warmer, than places like Riverside and our deserts. So this is what we're talking about with Santa Ana wind pattern. And here we show just how windy is expected to be in this Santa Ana wind event. Looks like a moderate wind event, and we should see wind gusts developing early Wednesday morning. First across the north and then spreading across San Diego County during the day on Wednesday. The wind will continue Wednesday evening, and we'll see additional strong wind gusts all the way into Thursday. Our windy quarters in this type of classic Santa Ana wind event will be near the Cajon Pass and then moving towards Ontario. And then also across the Santa Ana wind-prone areas, those areas just east of the 405 and mostly east of Interstate 5. Now for San Diego areas, you can see that the wind-prone areas will be mostly east of Interstate 15 to include the Interstate 8 corridor and off those mountain areas across the San Diego mountains, such as between Julian and Mount Laguna. So wind gusts are expected to be in these wind-prone areas 30 to 40 miles per hour. The highest wind gusts in the windiest locations, as you see in the brighter colors of orange and red, those will be gusts that could reach over 50 miles per hour. Let's take a look at the forecast now. This heat wave is expected to be at its peak Wednesday through Friday. We'll see a big jump in temperatures on Wednesday, especially compared to what we saw earlier this week. The hottest day looks to be on Thursday, so we show it on here. We'll see widespread temperatures on coastal locations, basically from the I-15 west in the mid to upper 90s. Just as hot as the deserts, if not a little bit hotter. Some of the hottest locations could touch 100. Now for impacts, this heat is significant. Temperatures will be 10 to 20 degrees above normal, and in some locations they'll be near record highs. So the areas shaded in orange on the map to the right are at moderate risk for heat health impacts. So if you have outdoor activities planned, whether it be recreation, work, play, traveling to the area, these warm temperatures are like we see in the deserts. So these temperatures can have an impact if you don't prepare properly. And again, this heat wave will last all the way through Friday. Friday afternoon, we may see a little stronger onshore sea breeze as the Santa Ana winds dissipate. Nonetheless, it'll remain hot. Now, what does the outlook bring us? What do we have on here? Well, there is the possibility, though we see quite a bit of difference in computer models this far out, which is not unusual, especially during the fall when we transition seasons. But nonetheless, it looks like there's a good chance for a return to a wet weather pattern, especially for Central and Northern California, which those areas over the weekend received across the mountains anywhere from 4 to as much as 10 inches of rain in those mountain areas. So this return to the wet weather pattern is expected between October 23rd and 27th. Now, us in Southern California, looks like we have a slight chance that we'll see some rain, perhaps similar to what we saw recently. But at this time, it's a little bit too far out to pinpoint the details with the differences in the computer models and the fact that this is the transition time of the year from seasons. For tuning into the latest watches, advisories, and warnings, always check the weather.gov San Diego page. You can see those hazards displayed on a map. For the longer range outlooks, Climate Prediction Center, which will be releasing its winter outlook on Thursday. And anything on your smartphone, you can either go to weather.gov or mobileweather.gov. And of course, follow us on Facebook and Twitter in addition to the YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning in.